You guys are going to have to let me know if it's actually live and if you can hear me. Zoom changed. I'm trying a new microphone. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay. I'll wait for, I don't know what the lag is. Oh, hey, Lauren. Oh, I guess I could do it from my own phone. Yeah, see if you can hear me. All right, all right. Are you? Oh, I don't have premium on my personal one. Can you hear me? Okay. Are you on? Oh, okay. Just gonna keep testing it out. Oh, you can. So the microphone is working. Wait, can you hear me from here or can you hear me from the? Oh, okay, excellent. All right. It's behind. Okay. Does it sound clear? Okay. Good, good. Oh, of course, I'm getting a spam call right now. Always fun. All right. So, hey, Charlotte, how are you doing? Okay, Charlotte's saying the sound in the video is great. Yes, they changed Zoom. Like how to start the live stream changed on Zoom, and then I was switching up using a new little microphone, and I wasn't sure any of those things were going to work well. So I appreciate you letting me know. Good evening, happy Friday. Sorry about moving the live from Tuesday night to tonight. Work was wild for the past week, and so had to do what I had to do. It was a lot of fun though. I do have a really good team, and it was exciting to work with other teams as we were working through the craziness. So it's a good learning experience at the new job. I can't believe I'll have been at this new job for 5 months this month, which time has just flown by. Oh, Charlotte, that's exciting. A quilt top of your own design. That's incredible. Hey, hey, Irish Sail Lady Linda, how are you doing? Reminder that we are doing the free pattern, which you should still be able to download on my website. Nothing has changed there. You should still be able to access it if you want to. And it's just a little spring rosebud pattern. I had seen that the Rosebud was like a vintage pattern, which I thought was cool. So I, of course, FPP'd it because I enjoy doing that for like simple blocks, turning them into easy to follow FPP patterns. So that's what I'm working up tonight. And I decided to do the blocks. I want to try to do these once a month. And I decided to do the blocks for the Rosebud in the same fabric, the Lori Holt shabby fabrics. So I'm gonna, for the ones that I do in this little like free every month series for YouTube, I'm gonna try to do them in the same fabric and maybe put them together at the end to see if we have, see what size we have. I'm not going to do all the blocks all the same size because I think some of them are going to look bigger or look better bigger. Some might look better smaller. But then we can play with the layout at the end and see that, that would give us a lot of choice on how we wanted to put them together. Adds, throw some borders around them to fill out the blocks to make them match some of the bigger ones. I think that'll be a fun, I've never done that before. So I think that'll be kind of a fun dive into doing sampler version, my version of. So that's the plan. Hi, Judy. Hey, Jess. It's spinning stars using Soya's Botanic Blast. Oh, very cool, Charlotte. I want to see it. It sounds like a lot of fun. I hope everyone has had an incredible week. It has been really chilly here in Maryland. We got hot for a little bit, and it's been rainy and chilly. Rainy the past couple of days and kind of all through the weekend it's supposed to be, but cold, like chilly all week long. And I think there's supposed to be one day during the week next week that we're supposed to get back up in almost the 80s, and then it's supposed to dive right back down again to the 50s, which should make for some great colds with all the back and forth weather. Maryland likes to do that, tease you into thinking spring is really here, and then winter coming back for a final run. Hey, Priscilla. Luane, hi, how are you doing? Good to see you. Excited to see everyone. For those that are just coming in that maybe didn't hear, we're working on a free pattern. It's my free pattern for the Rosebud, which is a classic block that I wrote an easy little pattern for. Oh, I just realized that my screen is not angled the right way. I don't even know how to fix that. I wonder why that did that. Zoom changed, and so now everything is wonky. I might turn off the overhead camera if that's the way it's going to be. I feel like that's more of a pain in the tush to watch than being able to see what I'm doing. I wonder why I did that. Before I went live, it was not sideways, so that's really wild. I'm gonna say, hey, all my quilty friends, hope you're all doing well. Yep, doing really well. Yes, crazy weather for sure. Oh, just said it's been cooler in New York, in North Carolina as well. Oh, everybody's saying hello to each other. Okay, good. Yay. I really do think I might turn this camera off. Well, let me see if I turn it off and turn it back on again. Does it go the right way? Look at that. Turned it off, turned it back on again, and now it's situated the right way. Excellent. Okay, that's good. Good, good, good. It's like when in doubt, like reboot your computer. That works. I just don't know if it's if it looks as clear. Oh, I think so. Okay. All right. I will stop worrying about it. We will get to it. So yeah, I am using the Lori Holt Shabby Basics collection, and I'm going to do 2 blocks with this kind of cherry and dark green for the rosebud and the green of the flower, and then stem-ish, and then this like fire engine red and lighter green for 2. And this is going to be the background, which is it's got some blue hashing to it. I don't know if you can see that color very well, but that is the goal. And I thought what I would do is show you how I prep to do FPP, where I'm just going to pre-cut all of the things. So I'm going to cut all 4 of these strips at the same time. I'll cut squares to trim down to triangles for the backgrounds here. And I'll show you how I measure to do that so that you can have all the fabric pre-cut, and then you can just sew, which is good. Well, Texas has had yo-yo weather. Yeah, Judy, I was talking about how I had to move this from Tuesday to Friday because of work. So I didn't get to do the Tuesday night. We'd had a thing at work, and I was working with some teams to rectify that thing, and so moved the live to tonight, which is cool. But so what I will do when I am measuring to pre-cut, I'm going to do this one for 4 strips of this. I will measure at least the 1/4 inch seam allowance, if not more. So what I'll probably do is say that, let's do it from the 0. Say that I'm going to do a 5.5 by 2.5, 2.25, 5.5 by 2.25 rectangle. 4 of those for this background piece right here. And so let's see, is this enough to do 5.5? Yes, it is. Excellent. And I need 4. So I'm going to open it up and fold it back over itself with enough. There we go. Oh, Charlotte, that is cold. 38 degrees. Linda says, I'm trying to make a list of all the creators I watch. That's a good idea. I should do that too. Try to figure out when they're all on, because I end up missing so much by not really not having alarms set. And I can't count on YouTube to let me know, because it doesn't always do it in time. Friday night is not usually my night. I'm trying to go live on Sunday every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, and then Tuesday evenings from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I just couldn't this past Tuesday because of that issue at work. But that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do moving forward, is keep to that schedule, and that helps. So when you know somebody is going to be on, at a regular time, it helps you plan. It helps me with my scheduling to know what I'm doing. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. So there we go. I have these 4 cut out, oversized to fit this piece of the pattern. There we go. Then I need 4 big pieces to make, let me move this up a little bit. I need a square, 2 squares big enough to cover this, which I will be able to do. Enough there, definitely enough there. And I find when it's these easier shapes, just triangles and rectangles and squares, it's really easier to pre-cut them than do the cut while you sew that I will often do with legit kits. It's time saver, makes it more efficient. So these triangles will give us plenty of room for that background. Get that out of the way. And then let's see, these, I need at least a 2x2 square. Okay, so I'm gonna need 4 2x2 squares. So let's do this, fold it back over again onto itself. And cut there. And then cut these into triangles. That's all for the background, because the background is going to be same for all the blocks. Then the rosebuds are going to be a little bit different because I'm going to do 2 and 2. I'm going to do 2 with the fire engine red, like the red lipstick red, and then 2 with the little bit more like a cherrier red. She said, "No worries, I was just testing you." Yeah, I really wish I had been here on Tuesday, but it's all right. The sewing up these rosebuds while it's all rainy outside gives me hope for when the rain stops and all the flowers are all extra pretty. All right, so two are going to be for the lighter, 2 are going to be for this. And I'm only going to need 1 square to make the 2 stems of the rosebuds in this dark green. So unfold this a bit to get to this. I can just cut this. This will definitely be big enough. Let me get rid of the selvage over here. This is a deep selvage. I don't know if you can see, but I got to chop off that much to get the selvage off. That's a healthy selvage. And then Let me make sure after cutting off that selvage. Yeah, we got plenty. All right, so that'll be for the stems for this one. And this screen's all done. Then I'll need two 2-inch squares. For the Rosebud. Cut this selvage off. Here we go. Some reds. For the red Rosebuds. That's it for this red. So when you're doing these a little bit more just really easy, simpler geometric shapes, it's really easy to pre-cut the fabric in bulk and just get going. I like this pinky, corally color. So that's for this one. There we go. Oops. And then oh, wrong side, this side. And just one more square and we are set to go. Ooh, I get to go tomorrow. I'm very excited about this. It says near San Antonio. I'm excited about this. There was a donation made to an arts center right down the road from me here of authentic silk saris, SARI, silk saris, and they are selling them for, folks to come and pick up. They're selling them. And I'm going to go tomorrow to the sale and I'm going to see how many I can pick up because I want to use the silk in some quilts. I've never used silk before, but if you've been following me for a little bit, you'll know that I was working on a coverlet from 1718. I'm working in it in all quilting cottons. I don't know why I enunciated cotton so much, but working on it in cottons. The original artist, she in 1718 was using bits of silk that she had from clothing and things in the household. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I've never worked with silk before. And when I saw that they were having this sale, I want to go get some and see what it's like to work with a silk sari. I think it'll be very cool. All right, so here we go. We're going to start these. Now these, because it is not directional, but it is patterned on one side, you have to remember when you're farting, oh my God. It's definitely a Friday night after a long week of work. When you're starting off with your first piece, you have to make sure that piece, if you're looking at the sew lines, you want it, if this, you consider this right sides up, are the sew lines that you can read the pattern. you want it wrong sides together with the first piece of fabric. So you want to keep that in mind. The first piece of fabric is always wrong side to the sewing lines where you can read the numbers or letters. Oh, I keep making the thing get out of focus. So you want to do that. If you're looking at it where you're going to put the fabric pieces together, that is going to be face up on the side with no sew lines. So think of this as the wrong side of the paper. Your wrong side of your fabric is facing your wrong side of the paper. From there, as long as you get that first piece correct, and you can pin this in place, you could glue it in place, you can just hold it in place, completely up to you. Then from there, it is the same as any other sewing project. You're always going to do right sides together. Pretty sides are going to face each other. So you'll line up your next piece. For me, it's red, right sides together. So as soon as you have the first piece of fabric correctly situated in any FPP project that you're doing where you're actually sewing on the paper, you'll be good to go. There are some projects where you are doing it on freezer paper, all that kind of stuff, that may require a different setup. But if you're doing a traditional foundation paper piece, that's the way you'll end up, making sure you've got your fabrics together the right way. And then I will always do either hold it up to the light to make sure the second piece of fabric is covering the area I need it to cover. And I just kind of do the feel test or the look through in the light test, whichever works, to make sure that I have the fabric covering the triangle in the right way. And I do there, and then I'll bring it over to the machine. There we go. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Yay, thumbs up, please. And Luane said that he saw a video where the woman used silk as the backing on baby burping towels. Wow, that's pretty bougie, but super soft. Like, I bet super soft. And if the baby is holding it, I bet they really love that tactile feel of the silk. I want to be a baby with silk burping towels. Freezer paper works basically the same. Yeah, the one where the freezer paper was really different was doing over the summer. I did was it the summer? Was it the fall? Time has no meaning in my life anymore. Where I did the amethyst jewel, and that was freezer paper, but you're not actually sewing with the freezer paper attached to the project, where you're actually keeping the paper ironed on and building the project on the freezer paper. You're using the freezer paper as the template to cut the thing. So that was a whole different scenario. That I'd not ever seen that before. So I don't know how many other like different techniques using freezer paper there might be out there. I had definitely not seen that before. All right. So there we go. We've got our two pieces together, first two, and then we'll go on to the next. I'll get that one out of the way. Let me make sure I'm in the camera. Let's trim this down just a bit to about 1/4 inch. And then we'll, again, now we're back to just very traditionally piecing, putting right sides together of the fabrics, lining it up just to make sure that it's covering you can see the outline of the triangle. We want to make sure with the seam allowance up at the top that we want to make sure we're covering. I'm going to do my little feel test to make sure, also make sure that I'm actually right sides together. It's such a light background. I needed to make sure. And I can tell that I'm definitely covering that full triangle. So I'll bring it on over to the machine. Yeah, Charlotte, I had a really good time learning that technique. And I have at least 2 more that I need to build in that technique, because I am making because I did amethyst is my birthstone, garnet, which is my daughter's, and citrine, which is my son's. So I'm making them for me and I'm going to frame them. But I would not say favorite. So I need to go back. And I've also done a technique with freezer paper that was very, it's another technique that made my brain hurt. It was a class I took with the Modern Quilt Guild DC. They had an artist come in and teach it. Actually, Ingrid, who you might see come in, Ingrid's still working, so maybe not, but it was a class we both took, and it was very, it's kind of like embroidery, but also like fabric, paper piecing on freezer paper. It was wild. I very much enjoyed how that woman's brain worked. I just wasn't, I wasn't able to keep up. But her work is incredible. I wish I could remember what her name was off the top of my head now. She had work in this past QuiltCon and the one before, the one in Raleigh that I got to go to. I saw her work there, but I cannot remember her name for the life of me. It's one of the 3 names, and I cannot remember it. All right, now we're going to line up the next piece. Check to make sure we're covering it the whole way. Yeah, the birthstone. That was a lot of prep work, which it was a lot of prep work, which I really appreciated when it was time to sew, because I feel like the sewing went really fast after that. I really have to make my list of foundation paper piecing artists and their styles, and the ones that I haven't done yet, then that I want to do, and really like focus on those. Maybe over the summer, I'll focus on those. That would be kind of cool. I'm also working on a way through YouTube memberships. I tried to do this through my own website, and it was harder in a weird, like it's hard to explain, harder to do, where I was scheduling like live sews and everything, but YouTube was having like MJ Kinman, yes, Charlotte, that's it, woohoo. So I'm gonna try to look at doing it over the summer through YouTube, doing a membership thing and see how it works. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but we'll see. But where if you sign up for the membership and then like the different levels, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I do like that everything is done on YouTube since that's where I'm at. And I can do the membership only sews right through YouTube without having to try to figure out how to make it work on a separate website. So that's why I'm trying it out. We'll see. Charlotte had to look it up. Well, I appreciate you doing that. All right, so there we go. There's the little rosebuds starting. And then next is the stem. Again, clean this up a little bit. If you've never done FPP, I have several free little block, like easy little blocks. I say easy because I've been doing FPP for a long time. Some beginner friendly, I believe in you. You can do FPP blocks on my website, and they're all free. Like there's this Rosebud, there's last month's Clover, which that was really all like straight lines, like and just rectangles, really. And then there's like the Whirlwind and the Tumble, a couple of things. If you wanted to try the technique out, they are a low stress kind of way, really simple shapes, triangles, rectangles, squares, and no, because it's all in, like this is all, you could literally just do this one block and make this into like a mug rug and be done. And then you've done FPP and you can decide if you like it or not. Or you can do all four of them and make them into a larger thing. But they are really scrap friendly, which I think is a good thing to, especially if you're just starting out and you don't want to use fabric, you know, that you've been saving, like fabric that's precious to you. You don't want to start off with your Tula Pink collection or your I don't know, anybody, whoever you really dig, if you don't even know you're going to like the technique. So I try to make these very, very scrap friendly, easy to toss if you don't like it anymore because you haven't really put, you know, you haven't put a lot of money into it. It's just scraps. But my hope is, my goal is to have everybody try FPP at least one time, just to give it a go, to say you know how to do it, to say you've tried it, to expand your toolbox a little bit, your kit. I do not expect everybody to be as gung ho as I am, though. But I really do feel like when I first started doing FPP, I really felt like, oh, this is my jam. This is really my jam. I really like this. I like bag making too. All right, look at that, the little rosebuds. And then the stem, and we'll finish it off with the rest of the background. We'll move on to the next one. What I think is fun about this is we'll have the rosebuds spinning around and it'll have a pinwheel in the middle. I liked that too. I've been just cutting it with scissors, but if you line your 1/4 inch of your ruler up, here, let me slide this up a little bit. Your 1/4 inch of your ruler up You can also trim to, uh, for these, I wouldn't go smaller than a 1/4 inch. I find that when I do the 1/8 of an inch, that it leaves a really weird ridge when I iron and press the fabrics back. So I don't generally use an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance when I'm trimming things down. I just don't, I don't like how that looks for me, to me, but it is a personal call. I think my next thing I'm going to have to do is figure out a better way for this camera, because I keep, every time I move the, well, of course now it's not doing it, but it goes blurry, and I think that's distracting. And so got to figure out a better spot to put it to where it's not right over my hands. It's an ever evolving YouTube channel, folks. Grid. Hey, Danny. All right. I think this little rosebud, if you did it just in a single block, would be a really cute pocket for the front of a bag too. Or if you did all 4 of them, it would be a really big pocket, like a, almost 10 inch. I think it's a 9 inch block altogether. That'd be a pretty good sized pocket. So it would be a pretty good sized bag to do it. But I think it would be a really cute addition as a pocket on a bag, like just a little slip pocket. All right, last little bit to add. There we go. And there we go. Did I ask everybody? Oh, I have a pop-up that's blocking my chat. So let me move that. Did I ask everybody if you have weekend plans this weekend? I know a lot of the farmers markets are starting to kick off. Um, some of the craft fairs. Trying to think of what else. What else is opening up? I think this weather, this rain is going to keep people in. Are you guys going to go see movies this weekend? That's always a fun rainy day thing. Go see a movie. All right. So here we go. There she is. Go ahead and trim this one up. gosh, I don't even know the last time it was. No, I do actually know the last time it was that I watched a movie, and it was when my nephew was in a movie class, and was a part of a big event, and they got to show their movies at an actual movie theater, and that was 2 years ago. And the last time I went to go see a movie, I'm not a big fan of movie theaters. I love seeing movies, but I like seeing them from the comfort of my own home. Let's see. I think my ruler moved a little bit up here at the top. Just the slightest bit, but there we go. This is definitely one of my favorite parts, when you get all of the fabric added to the block, and then you trim away the extra that you were keeping there to keep yourself safe, to make sure that you had enough to cover all the spaces. And then you trim it, and it looks so pretty and clean. And there we go, the first little rosebud block. So I'll do the second one of the same color, and then we'll move to the lighter color of them. Bye, Charlotte. Have a great dinner. All right. So we start. I'm going to iron this guy out a little bit. It's flop over. I'm really bad about doing the ironing for fabric for FPP before I actually start working on it, because you're ironing so much when you're actually doing the work. So I don't usually iron my fabrics first. I'm not really a big starcher either. So another reason why I don't really iron, because I'm not starching before I go. I like to live dangerously. Make sure we're getting all that covered. Oh, wow, Linda. Yeah. How long will surgery will, like, what's the recovery time for that? I think I'm gonna work in like an assembly line. Work this faster. You don't have to go fast. Don't worry about going fast. But I find if I have one under the iron and one under the needle, I get things done pretty quickly. I've got to order more. I usually, when I'm doing the patterns, because I like to do FPP so much, I usually do it on newsprint paper, which is a thinner paper, but I've got to order more. So I'm just doing it on my regular old lightweight printer paper. You don't have to go out and get a special type of paper. Yeah. 10 days. Oh, yeah, that would drive me crazy too. Well, you have my thoughts with you for having the surgery, and then my definite quilty thoughts with you to get through not being able to quilt for all that time, for sure. Yeah, I like when I have this assembly line going. Ooh, Ingrid and I are working on a super secret sew for legit kits that I'm having fun with now that I've gotten to get started with, now that work has slowed down finally. All right, this is the red. So I'm excited to get to share that with you guys once we. Hi, Catherine. Oh, Linda, you sew for your job too. Oh man. So that's 10 days of just stagnant. Ugh. But just think about how great it will be once you're recovered. Right. Once you're recovered, smooth sailing. You'll be able to hit the ground running. Anyways, a lot of stuff happened this weekend. A lot of springs. Lauren, my oldest, asked me today what I wanted for Mother's Day, and I said I wanted someone to landscape my front lawn. I don't want to have to worry about it, think about it. I have an idea of what I want to do differently and new, but I don't want to have to do it. Secret sewing. One, two, three, four. Oh, back to the green. So I did the little rosebud for April. Now I have to think of what I'm going to do for May. And I was also thinking maybe I'll wrap this back around and get January and February in next year, since I started in March. But I don't know. We'll see. But I got to think of what I'm going to do. Simple block. Because I had originally thought, oh, maybe I'll do a rainbow in May because April showers, bringing May flowers. Yes, I know I'm doing a flower in April, but the April flowers, making way for a rainbow. But the curves of a rainbow is not a one block easy sew. Good night, Jazz. Thanks for coming by. I was thinking like an easy sailboat for June, though, out on the water in the summer. That'd be fun. In July, something patriotic. So I had something in mind for every month after that, just not what I want to do in May. Because I want to keep to the one block that you can make into, a 4 block wall hanging or what I'm going to do it all in the same fabric and then put it all together in like a sampler at the end of the year. Oh, I think this little rosebud would be a really cute, like, pocket on a jacket too. I think that would be darling. That would be fun.